Do you think it's fair to have someone as your best friend and your lover? Or do you think they should be separate roles?
Isn't that the point?
Is it though?
Do
you honestly find that you'll have one person in your life that you will go to for everything, or do you find that you go to different people for different needs?
When I date someone, they more often than not have been my best friend, confidant, and they become my lover, I suppose. And so they become both. But so for me, I like a neat little package. Very convenient.
Yes.
You're my friend, you're my best friend, and you're my lover, and here we are.
I need them separate.
You need them separate.
I need them separate. I am quite happy to feel like my lover or significant other, partner, whatever you want to call it, is one of my best friends, but I have different emotional needs from my partner, and I think it's unrealistic. I think it's unrealistic to be asking so much of one person.
Sure.
In my head, that's where I come at it from.
I get that. It's I've got a very, very close group of male friends, and they are my best friends.
Yeah.
We'll call that. So I get all that from them. But also, my girlfriend is also my best friend because she gets told all the real secrets and all the real desires that I don't tell the best friends.
Yeah.
So I understand keeping them separate. It's nice when
it's lovely when you're friends. Obviously, you want to be friends with your partner because otherwise, what the fuck's the point?
Yes.
But I'm very careful to make sure that I don't put too many of my emotional needs on one person.
Yeah, sure. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's separation of church and state.
Yes, exactly.
So to say, in a way.
This is Ghosts of Boyfriends Past.
Hello.
I'm Liz Best here with
Tom Harris. How are we doing, guys?
We are chatting the heavy stuff. We're front loading the episode today.
Aren't we ever?
Well, we have a special guest all the way from the UK today.
Good Lord.
So as always, we get people on to chat about their stories, have a bit of a kumbaya moment of what their dating history's been like and ask what they've learnt.
And it gives Liz and I a bit of a chance to be a sticky beak in someone else's life.
Like,
and
who doesn't want to peer
curious?
into somebody else's life? Like, it's just like we're standing at the curtains, but they know we're there.
Yes,
So today,
yes, with permission.
we have a renowned voice actress, podcast voice actress as well. She does the Penny Peep Show. She's a stand-up comedian. We've got Jackie Osorio.
Woo! G'day, guys. I just put on a bit more of an Aussie accent because I feel like everybody was expecting a British one.
Yeah, so she's an expat.
I love to disappoint.
Yes, exactly.
Hi, guys. Lovely to be here.
So
that's better. Now we can understand you. We didn't understand a word you said before. And now
so
you're
thanks
here.
for coming all the way just for this episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting on a plane. I mean, we've got some real pull here
Don't
at
we ever?
Ghosts of Boyfriends
It's
Past.
amazing.
Very happy to be here.
So I've been friends with Jackie for a while, but not as long as we should have been friends because we were told probably about 10 years before we became friends that we should have been friends by one of our other friends.
That's right.
And it just never happened.
No, but Brisbane is that kind of place, isn't it?
It
we can
really
float
is.
around each other knowing we exist and then finally go, oh, yeah, we probably should have done something about this sooner.
Exactly. Well, now that we realise that we actually get on like a house on fire.
Oh, you made it in the end.
We
Yes.
made it.
Oh.
We made it.
Don't worry about what could have been. Think about what can be. Look forward, guys.
So Jackie has some dating stories. Does she ever?
Boy, do I. Well, look, I thought I would tell you guys a story, a kind of a lighthearted one, because I started doing Tinder dating, online dating, over in London, and it was a very different experience.
Well, like we've got to outline some rules.
Yeah, please do.
Because
I love
I know
rules.
you know the rules, but we just need to reiterate them just in case you forget them or that you know. So we like you to come up with a fake name for whoever you're talking about.
Yes, an alias.
An alias, so that it's not immediately apparent to everybody who you're talking about. And look, we allow ribbing and a bit of shit talking, but no threats.
Lightly ribbed for our plate. No,
okay. Get out.
Okay, we'll move on. So, do you have an alias?
Well, I've got a Freddo frog packet in front of me, so I'm going to go with Fred.
Okay, Fred.
Hopefully
Fantastic.
I can remember that. Are we ready? Are you guys ready for
Are
this
you
story?
ready?
Place
Are you
us
ready?
there, Jackie.
Man.
Put us
Okay,
there.
so this is after I had a big 4-year-long relationship, and I just come out of that. And I thought, now's the time for me to get into the dating scene, and I'm going to do my Tinder profile, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to have all the fun. And so I started swiping, and I swiped with a guy called Fred.
Fred.
And,
See? Fred.
yeah.
We did it.
Now, Fred is a Glaswegian construction worker.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Right.
this is in London. And so basically, like, I couldn't understand a word he said half the time, but
Yeah,
he had really
marble
good
mouth.
arms. So,
That's all
you know,
need, right?
you give, you take, like swings and roundabouts. So we decided to go on a first date, and we went to a little pub in Camden.
Lovely.
And it was going great. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have like kind of a list of questions that you go through on each date so that you like just kind of make sure, especially if the first time you're meeting somebody, you need to make sure that they're not psychotic.
Yes. What are your antipsychotic questions?
Or like, you know, sort of standard things like,
Have you murdered anybody?
yeah, or like,
Good one,
how
yeah.
long does it take you to achieve orgasm?
Uh-huh. That's a good question.
Now,
Wow.
is it because
I mean, it's a
everybody
fair one
tells
to want
me
to know.
That's right. That's what I'm coming from. Now, after a few drinks, it's very easy for me to just go straight in on the hard questions.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
I just want to know the important things. But everybody I tell sort of looks at me funny and goes, "No, that's actually not a normal thing to ask on a first date." But I'm really glad I asked because do you know what Fred said? I don't know. Can you guess? How long does it take Fred to spooge?
I don't know. Does he want to overestimate and
Yeah,
say like
that's what I'm
hours, baby? Or is he like really honest and he's like about 20, 30 seconds?
He said 2 hours.
Good
Now,
heavens.
now the first thing
Wow.
I'm thinking,
My
I'm
heart would give
exhausted.
out.
I-
Yeah.
right? Who has time? I was at first thinking, oh, he wants me to do the whole. I bet I could do it quicker. Like he wants
Oh,
me to be
right,
like,
yeah.
2 hours, not with me, baby. But then I kind of pressed him a bit, and I was like, are you serious right now? He was deadly serious, and he didn't like make a joke of it. He was like, no, it takes me a bit of time. And now I'm not here to shame anybody.
No, because look, usually
time
it's-
you want.
Usually typically it's the female going, it takes me longer
Takes
than
me
you.
longer. But
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
it doesn't take me 2 hours.
2 hours.
No,
That's
it doesn't
a
take
hefty-
anyone 2 hours.
don't
well,
think- I
actually,
don't think-
it might, and if it does, that's your thing.
But that's a choice, right?
I mean, if that's a choice, then good on you. And
Power
if it's not
to
a
you.
choice, then we can workshop that.
I mean, does anybody have 2 hours to spank it these days?
No.
Give me 30 seconds with the jet setting on my shower head and let
Yeah,
me move on
just-
with my life, please.
Yeah, over and done with. And my heart would give out after 2 hours.
You know what I could
kill
do in 2
yourself.
hours? I could make a lasagna.
Yeah. I would love, I love lasagna. Sometimes more than orgasms, depending on how good it
Could
is.
watch 4 episodes of The Good Place back to back.
So you've done your
You
maths
just have
over
Netflix
there.
and Netflix. There's no Netflix and chill.
No zero chill.
This is no chill.
2 hours
yeah.
is not chill.
Please, more of the Netflix, less of the chill if this is the case. Oh man, and back in London as well, 2 hours is a flight to Oslo. Like
Hey,
it's,
you can get
in 2 hours, 6 people could get corrective eye surgery. It's just a ridiculous amount of time to spend rubbing one out furiously in the bathroom.
I'm sure you would be furious. It's
Crying.
taking that long, yeah. So,
It's sandpaper now.
I know it's just not working.
so you get this information out of Glasgow Fred, and
Look, okay, at this point, it's actually going really well. We're having a great time.
great, yeah.
And this is date 1. Now I will just tell you there was a second date,
Okay.
but very shortly you'll be very surprised that there was actually a second date. He goes to me. Now I'd like to apologise to any of our listeners who are Scottish, but he goes to me, "Oh hen, why didn't I take you down to my site where I work?"
Now, would you like
Thank
a translation?
you. Thank you.
It was wonderful accent
Thank you.
work.
I'm actually quite proud of
It's
that.
Yeah, it's pretty
beautiful.
good.
That's
Keep
the
that
thing of beauty.
So now I know we've all listened to this true crime podcast, but when a strange man asks you to go down to his construction site after dark, I mean, that probably translates more to like, I'd like to murder you and put my dick in your eye socket
Yeah, for at least 2 hours.
for 2 hours or so.
Yeah, so odds are on. Yeah,
Yeah, but you know what? I'd had half a cocktail and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to sit on a tractor.
Jackie,
Yep.
stay sexy, don't get murdered.
Right? So
Half a-
simple.
half a
So hard to
cocktail.
remember after half a cocktail. What a cheap date.
Spot of murder,
So,
whatever.
So I said yes.
Oh,
And
honey.
I know, but we were having fun. And
No,
despite the 2
so
hour
were people
thing,
before they got murdered.
I know. Anyway, so now me is thinking past me is a complete idiot, but then past me was like, I'm so cool right now. And I'm taking risks. I'm living life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down to a construction site. So
crushing it.
this is in Camden. So we just walked a short distance, and he puts in a code into this, like, you know, they put up the walls and stuff, and you can't get in, and then you have to have a key card or something like that. He does that. And then he locks it behind him.
I was like, is he locking you in? What?
Yep. At this point, we are locked in.
Oh,
and so,
okay.
but we go in and it's dark and it's...
Did you check to see if your phone has reception?
Nope.
Wow.
I didn't check a thing. I was like leading the way. I was like, tractors. I could not wait. I could not wait. And so...
The tractor could probably get you off faster than he could.
You know what? That's the punchline of the story, Liz.
Oh, God.
So it's like dark, right? There's no lights. It's London, so it's been wet and muddy.
Yes.
I'm in heels and
In mud.
a dress. I'm off my face at this point.
Half a cocktail.
Half cocktail. I'm off my face, and I wasn't wearing a hard hat. I was wearing a high-vis vest, but that was just a coincidence.
It was a health and safety joke.
That's a little joke for you there. But yeah, health and safety was not a thing. I went down a ladder.
in heels.
In heels.
No.
And the mud. I went down a ladder. I went past some rebar. Those are the metal spikes that stick out of the concrete.
Jackie.
Yeah, I went past that. I saw the machinery. I saw a drill. I saw a digger. I saw the tractor. Now, it's not a tractor like on a farm, right? A tractor is like any engine that delivers a slow tractive effort at a slow speed, torque, if you will. I like tractors. And so it was this kind of like, I don't know, it was a pusher or a lifter or a forklift or something. It was dark and I was drunk. So I got on this tractor and I was like, this is the best day of my life. And we made out, but I was like, look, I don't have the time to take this any further. But I didn't get murdered. Look, I didn't get...
I mean, you're here.
I'm here,
today.
so I didn't get murdered. So we actually, you know, what could have been a really tragic night actually turned into probably the best first date I've ever had.
Yeah,
'cause, like, it's really turned around for me.
So sort of like a child again. You got to explore a new playground.
I was
and
like,
see
fuck
the diggers.
Narnia, this shit is the tits.
This is good.
It was wonderful. So I thought at that point, I was like, this is fun. Well, I'll see him again. So we went on a second date. And this time I was like, okay, well, we had a drink. What do you suggest for our second date? And he said, I'm not going to do the Scottish accent. No, I am.
Yeah, you did it once.
He said,
you're in.
Hen, let's do yoga. Now,
Bit of yoga.
On a date.
I don't know. Have you ever been asked to do yoga
on a date? No.
Right.
No.
Nor have I. So at this point, I'm like, points for creativity.
I guess.
Points for uniqueness.
It's not movie and dinner.
Right? He said, let's get dinner first. And then we'll go to this yoga class. And this is in Greenwich.
They're like late night yoga. Is that a thing?
That's what I thought. But, just wait.
Let me lock this other door behind you.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
So I was like, you know what, though? Like, we had a really cool date in like a locked construction site. So maybe this is going to be cool, like another cool one. So I go to this place we decided to meet. It's just a restaurant. And he doesn't show up. I'm texting him. He's texting back. He's just running late. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I wait 5 minutes. I wait 10 minutes. I text him. He's still not coming. Now, I have a lot of self-respect these days. Hasn't always been the case. But I'm there now. And now I don't think I would wait any longer than 20 minutes.
No.
20 is the cutoff,
20
is it?
is probably my cutoff. For a second date.
I'd probably cut off at 20 to half an hour unless they already had unless they're like, I'm running half an hour late, you know, like unless if they keep going 5 minutes, you're gone. No.
I just, if they're in contact with you as well going, I'm really sorry, I'm on my way, this has happened, things happen, especially in London. Okay, fine. But he kept saying, no, I'm 5 minutes away. I'm 5 minutes away. And like an idiot, like a muppet, I believed him. And so I ended up waiting. Well, I ate. I was like, well, I'm ordering these sweet potato fries. Like, there's nothing that will stop me. But he basically missed dinner. He missed dinner. And he's like, I'm coming. I'm so close. And then
Is that what he says during his 2-hour sex marathon as well?
Yeah, after the first hour.
Do you know what?
Any minute,
I'll never know,
close.
Liz.
I'm so close. Jackie, I'm so close.
Exactly. And I'll
Just
never
another
know.
hour. Just another hour.
I sit up at night thinking about this. What would it have been like? So, long story short, like an idiot, I waited for him. And then he texted me saying, I'm actually at the yoga venue. Just come here. So I was like, oh, God. I did. I went to the yoga place, and you know what? I am glad I did, because I'm here today sharing the story with you. Now, since I've started stand up, I'm like, everything that goes wrong is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm very happy. So we meet at this place. It's like a community hall. Like, you know, you'd have a library maybe across the street, and you'd have different rooms you can rent out. And we go to the reception, and I meet him at first, and I'm like, "Hey, friend, what's up?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then he flexed, and I was like, "Oh, you're forgiven." And the receptionist, we said, "Which room is the yoga happening in?" And she sort of looked at us a bit funny, and then sort of went, "That one," and like pointed in the direction we had to go. That was the first sign, and so we go. Be nervous. So I'm wearing like your yoga stuff, right? Like, just kind of active wear, active wear. He's, I don't know what he was wearing. I can't even remember. Wasn't as active weary as what I had on, but whatever. We get there, and the door has like a tiny little window, so you can just about see kind of what's going on. But he opens the door straight away. We are at this point about 5 to 10 minutes late to this yoga class. So the room is already full. Now, I don't know about you guys. Have you ever been to a yoga class?
Yes.
So you would expect to see
like mats
and people on the mats, and maybe like one person at the front doing some kind of like leading something, right? Some kind of dog.
Doing a dog. You know, one of those yoga dogs.
Yeah, any of the yoga dogs. And we opened the door, and there weren't mats. There were chairs, and there were like 3 or 4 rows of people sitting in these chairs, full up. There was one person at the front on a little dais.
Don't know us.
Dais?
Sorry.
And so of course we're late, so everybody's already like into it, and the door creaks like, and they all as one turn to look at us, and there we are, and we go in, and we're like, sorry, I'm so sorry. And they all, like a few of them on the sides, kind of look around them, grab a chair, and like start dragging these 2 chairs for me and Fred. And it's squeaking on it's like, it's the most awkward, I want to die at this point.
Oh, yeah.
But the chairs are coming, so now we have to commit. So we kind of go in, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what I'm walking into right now. And it was so tightly packed that Fred and I couldn't sit beside each other. I go in first, and he sits sort of behind me.
What a date.
I know. It was exciting. And so I sat down, put all our stuff, like put my stuff down, and we're making so much racket, and the person at the front hasn't sort of stopped. And once I've settled into my seat and I look around, everybody's kind of got this strange, they're holding their hands in this position, kind of like they're holding something up. And the man in the lead who's taking the class is saying something along the lines of, "And now we lift our hearts up to the mother, and we beg for her forgiveness. Forgive us, mother, for our sins," and so on and so on and so on. Okay. At this point, I'm copying, because this is what I do. As a performer, as an actor, I'm like, I'm in.
Yes, and.
Straight away, yes, and. So I'm like, hell yeah, lift up my hearts and my sins to the mother. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like, I have been to yoga, right? I have done the odd yoga class.
I've seen footage of yoga. I know what yoga is. Yeah.
So like a few alarm bells going off in my head going, not yoga. Probably not yoga, right? Weird yoga. And so this lasts for about 30 seconds. I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, have I ever seen anything like this? Can I compare this to any experience I've had? No, I think I'm in some kind of prayer circle. I think I'm in some kind of religious situation. And I'm thinking about all this. And that's when I hear a scrape, a scuffle, a shuffle, and then the door open and close. And I turn around to look at Fred, and he's gone.
He's legged it.
He left me in the room with about 30 strangers and the mother.
Hey, you need Jesus getting there.
Sins.
And my sins. Yeah. And at this point, I'm like, has he just brought me here as a sacrifice to some kind of crazy death cult? Is that how they get?
He planned to murder you on the first day. It didn't go well.
Was he playing a long game? Like, And so I'm sitting there and I turn back to the front and I've still got my hands up in this weird position and I'm kind of just mimicking everybody around me and they're still droning on about the mother and sins and breathing and hearts. And guys, I don't know what you would have done, but my anxiety level at this point was like trauma level.
Yes.
Where my heart was like thudding. I was like, what do I do? I don't want to be here. But I'm also really polite and I like to please people.
Yes.
So part of me was like, I just barged in on this prayer,
made them move
thing.
a chair for
made
me.
them move a chair for me. Gosh, that was so nice of them, wasn't it? How would it look if I just got up and left right now?
Pretty much exactly like it looked for Fred.
Yep. And so I was battling with this inside of my own,
Whilst
my heart and
putting
soul.
your sins up to
yeah,
the mother.
I asked the mother. I said, "Mother, what do I do?" and eventually, you just reach that point where you crack, and you're like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I quit. I'm out." And so I just the quickest I've ever been, just grabbed all my stuff, hugged it to my chest. Sorry, and ran out of the room and shut the door behind me and sprinted. And he was nowhere to be found until I got outside the building, where I did find him sitting on the wall smoking a cigarette. And I kind of, in my, half of like, oh my God, that was the most mortifying experience of my life.
Yes.
Walk up to him and I'm like, dude, what? And his response was just to take a nice, long, calming drag on his cigarette and go, it wasn't for me. And I was like, mate, I know how you feel. See ya. And that was the last time I saw Fred.
Wow.
Because he was just like, yeah. I said, look, I'm going to get a bus. And that was it. And I just got on a bus. I never looked back. I do wonder what he's doing right now. Sometimes.
Wow. Yes. I have questions.
I have questions.
Do we need Fred to answer those questions?
I have one theory.
Okay.
That mayhaps in the wilds of Scotland, that when a man invites a lass to see his work site, that she shouldn't jump to the chance to see the tractors.
Maybe that was a test.
And yeah, it was a test. And you went, let's see your tractors, Jimmy. And along he goes. And he gone, Jesus, this good for nothing woman wants my tractors. I'm going to drag time to drag her off to church
to repent.
and for a saving.
Do you know, I said to my friend, I said, guess what I did last night? I sat on a tractor and he thought I meant tractor as a penis.
Oh,
Like,
I don't think.
oh, you got some. I'm like, when does anybody call a tractor? A penis is not a tractor.
No.
Tractors are way better.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's pick your point.
Okay, so just describe my face right now. Like,
just the scrunched, confused, concerned.
Very strange man was Fred.
did you ever find out what the fuck that class was?
No, to this day.
Why did he?
I have no idea. It was some kind of cult, I'm sure of it.
Cultish yoga.
So yeah, basically I nearly joined a cult. I
And
still
you
go
nearly
back
got murdered in
every
a
Sunday.
construction site.
I nearly got murdered in a construction, and now I'm in a cult.
And Liz, have you thought about putting your sins up to the mother?
Yeah, guys, I'd like to talk if you've got a minute
Yeah, I've
about
got
the
some
mother.
pamphlets.
She's pretty cool. Oh my God.
Was the dinner you had beforehand any good?
Look,
Did that
it wasn't
save
even
it?
that good.
It wasn't even that
Nah,
great.
the sweet potato fries were all right.
He never tried to message and go,
Nah.
that was weird.
I think he realized just how badly it had gone. And
And
the
you
thing
never
is,
found out what he was doing beforehand that made him not come to dinner.
Wow.
no clue.
This is why I don't
Unanswered
date.
questions.
This is
Yeah,
why
this is why.
I don't.
But this is the
date.
thing, like you just, especially in London, the dating pool is enormous. You can get some real interesting, colourful characters. And I thank my lucky stars that I met Fred.
You're lucky you're alive.
I am, actually.
You are lucky that you didn't get put up as a sacrifice. You are lucky that you didn't get impaled on one of those spikes in the work site.
Or tetanus, you know.
Or, yeah, like
Didn't get
you are
tetanus.
very lucky.
She's a lucky duck.
Well, drum roll, please, for a lessons learned section.
Yeah,
What did
so
you?
what the fuck did
what
you learn?
Well, I learned, what did I learn? Not a lot on the first date because that went real well in my books. I got a tractor, that was all fine. Second date though, I think probably not to wait as long as I did. Just that
Your
basic
time is valuable.
it's value of my time. I think that's what I learned the most from that whole experience was, especially if they keep saying, I'm nearly there, and they won't give you like their location or they won't give you an actual reason.
Your first
to
red
why
flag
it's-
was 2 hours. He's
Look,
always
honestly, that
fucking
was-
nearly there.
If we take it right back, that was the first biggest red flag, wasn't it?
He is always nearly
Yeah.
there and not there. And you're there and he's gone.
I mean, clearly that was
he did
why
that
he
with
was
the
like-
cult.
he
You were
did it.
there. He was gone.
Why did he call it yoga?
Why did he think it was yoga?
What's
I have no idea. You
we
know
have
what,
no
I-
answers.
Maybe you just didn't understand what he said in the accent. Maybe he didn't say
Maybe.
yoga at all. Maybe he said something that was a
Something
word that
else.
meant a cult sacrifice and you just misunderstood because of the accent.
Do you know what? I'm going to say that's what it was. He knew the whole time that's what he wanted to do, and then it wasn't for him in the end. He just wanted me to suffer, I guess.
And
Well,
boy,
I take
howdy.
it. And boy, howdy.
Tom,
Did you
what
ever-
did you learn?
I would never let a common harlequin near my tractors. It's definitely number one. I don't know. There's
Like, what is that? It was just a train wreck, that whole...
It is, yeah.
That
Tractor
whole
wreck.
dating, the tractor wreck, you might say.
Good. It's making people, keeping people waiting at dinner or a date.
That's rude.
It's hard. It's if you don't intend to do that and you end up keeping them waiting, that's unfortunate. And
But
as long as you stay in communication,
your
yeah,
intentions with I'm 20 minutes away, not still there, almost
Yes,
there,
just still
maybe
5
there.
minutes.
And the clear lie that was, I'm 5 minutes away about 15 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's on me, guys, because
Yeah.
I can do some maths.
Well, now you can be like, if you're not going to be here in 10, do you want to reschedule?
Exactly.
Like, and
and
if-
that's all it would have taken. And
Yeah.
we might have had a third date. Also, kind of glad we didn't. Because again, I don't have 2 hours to commit to someone now and again.
Just watch 4 episodes of The Good Place and perform some eye surgery on people, and that'll. You can do all that
Yeah.
shit.
correct.
value for time.
Valuing your time is what I got out of that, and also don't follow strangers into fucking locked construction sites.
That's
Sorry.
pretty.
Jackie.
Yeah, that's actually
I'm
pretty. I
sorry.
forgot that actually happened.
That's how it started. You
at-
thought it was
yeah.
going to go up from there. It started out unlocking the construction site door behind you.
I'm so sorry. I'd like
At
to
night?
ask the mother for forgiveness.
Yes. Now 50 lashings for you,
The mother smacks your hand and
No.
says, "No,
And-
Jackie,
I deserve it.
and no
No.
smiling this time. I don't want to. All right, you're not allowed to enjoy it. Well, there you go, little boys and girls
Freaking
and everyone.
hilarious."
What a story! What
Oh,
a tale!
Jackie, I need to hear more of your London dating tales.
I'll work on it when I get back.
Look, this is the thing. Whenever you come visit, feel free to take a seat at the podcast because we would like to talk to you about some darker stories if you have them
I've
as
got
well.
some,
Because
got some in the chamber.
we
Fantastic.
like to do some lighthearted ones, and sometimes we delve a little bit deeper into the episodes. But this was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
so
that
thank
was
you.
fantastic.
Thank
No problem.
you.
Thank
you,
you for
Jackie.
having me, guys.
So we'll put some links to Jackie's work in the show notes if you want to listen to her on podcasts or have a look at her voiceover website and fancy pants acting stuff that she does. If you've got any comedy dates that you want to put up for any of our London listeners, you can do that. We can
goodness.
pop them in the show notes as well.
That'd be amazing.
If you would like to have your story on Ghosts of Boyfriends Past, you can go to that'snotcanon.com/Ghosts of Boyfriends Past. And it could be boyfriends or girlfriends or
All in
many
sundry,
friends, sex friends, all of the friends. So you can write in your story. You can either write it in for us to read out in one of our mini-sodes, or you can put in an application for us to actually have you as a guest. We can phone you in depending on time differences. We're flexible. We can sort this shit out for you.
We'll figure it out, guys. Otherwise, we're on all the social medias. Our episodes are released all over the place. And as ever, rate and review and share.
Please.
Just don't bother me with the praise. Give
No.
it to the internet first, and then I
And
will
then-
find it. Okay.
Exactly. Well, we've popped into the best of comedy interviews on Apple again this week,
Yes.
so I'm a bit bloody excited about
Bore you
that.
back into that.
On the same list as some of my favourite comedians. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. But we need to stay there. So, give us a rating,
Yes,
give us
keep
a
us
review.
there.
And if you want to join in on the discussion, we've also got our Facebook group, Ghosts of Boyfriends Past Group Therapy. We chat all things dating, relationships, any kind of qualms, quarrels, questions, all those kinds of things. It's a closed group, so it's private community where you can ask anything, talk about anything, post memes, please memes, all the memes.
She's the meme queen.
I'm a meme queen.
Meme queen.
Yes. So thank you so much for being with us today, Jackie.
Yes,
Thank you for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Tom, I'll see you next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.
What's your favorite TV show?
What's your favorite movie?
Do you think The Godfather is overrated?
Then you've tuned into the right place. I'm Shane. I'm Josh.
I'm Chanstar.
And we're the Mighty Motion Picture Rangers. In-depth discussions on movies and TV. There's interviews, commentaries, and more top 10 lists than you can imagine. It's all available at the Mighty Motion Picture Rangers, available wherever you get your podcasts. Also available at thatsnotcanonproductions.com.